Josh, I'll be honest with you. I feel like I've seen so much of you this week.
It almost feels like it's too much. You know?
Too much.
Yeah.
Yeah. Thanks, Nintendo.
Yeah.
Bringing friends together since 1899 or something, whenever it launched.
Like
1889?
Together.
Yeah. Hang on, let's have a look exactly when Nintendo were founded. It was 1889. Get in. Oi. That's good. Josh, how are you?
I'm good. Yeah. I've just been playing a lot of games recently. I've been
since 2 days ago?
I've literally busted out Portal and just been playing like Just Cause 4 and playing. I started playing. Do you know what? This will make you laugh. I don't know if it will, but it's like one of those. I'm just hankering for it, like a simulation park builder. Like I just want to build like a park of sorts. I'm gonna get to what kind of park?
This sounds very unlike you.
Yeah, and I was like, I want to let the money roll in. I want my little spectators to come and enjoy the attractions. And literally, I was like, what can I play? Rolling through Portal and going through like cloud-based gaming. Jurassic World Evolution 2.
Oh, look at that!
Yeah, I was like, I'll save my little Stegosaurus. You know,
remember when I was playing that?
Yeah. I was just like, I was like, it's quite addictive. So
it is good.
Yeah,
I told you. Remember when I was playing? I was like, mate, I'm well into it. I don't want to. Yeah, I like a little. I do like an attraction building game. Like, remember the old theme park? Like,
yeah, I was like, I need something like hotel, 2 Point hospital, 2 Point campus. I was like, something like, just like thinking about. Like, I just need something that roll money in where people are happy with my services. And just like, I'll do like hot dog stands, you know, like all these like Jurassic, like all the Jurassic Park stuff. And now I just started playing.
Yeah, but you have to deal with the dinosaurs breaking out, and it's like, God damn it!
Yeah. I did have a sandstorm that happened in the tutorial, and I was like, no!
Yeah, it gets to the bit where you get free roam to kind of build your entire park, and it's like, this is fun, but then it's like, this is a lot of responsibility.
Yeah,
so much to do.
Yeah,
so much to do. Fair enough.
But it did get me thinking whilst I was playing my Portal, being like, I wonder what the Nintendo Switch 2 is going to be like.
A Nintendo Switch 2?
Yes.
What is that? Well, of course, that is why Josh and I are recording so frequently at the moment, is because it's announced, finally. Nintendo Switch 2 has been announced. Crazy, isn't it? That is crazy. But before we get into that, I'm fine, by the way. You didn't.
I know. I'm too excited I want to talk about it. I know you've been playing something.
I haven't played anything, but it's also nice to ask how I am, Josh. Do you know what I mean? Like, it's just ridiculous.
How are you, Tyler?
No, I am absolutely fine. And be honest, I haven't really got much to report since we last recorded. But I just wanted to let you know that I'm fine.
How shabby
are you? But not too shabby as usual. But yeah, I want to get into it. But first of all, let's talk about the actual initial announcement, because doesn't it feel like it was a bit like, here, bloody hell, here you go. There's your news.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean?
The gaming's worst kept secret.
Other than GTA 6.
Yeah. Like, they're making a Switch 2, and here's what it looks like. And then Nintendo goes, here's a Switch 2 we're making.
I know we've talked about this before, about leakers.
Yeah.
And like, it's kind of just ruining it, because I remember when the initial Switch got announced 9 years ago. I remember seeing that trailer for the first time and going, oh my God, I need this tomorrow.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? Like, I'm like, oh my God. Whereas with this trailer, I'm like, I want it, but also I need to know more about it. I know nothing about it.
Yeah.
Like, what's it going to offer me?
I was watching a YouTuber, and this is a hot take that I'm going to give you right now.
Go on.
Do you think...
Probably not.
This is... and never do. But do you think that this is more akin to a Switch Pro?
Yeah, I mean, I guess so. I think the only thing, I think the first thing I'm going to say to you, Josh, as always, is sit closer to the bloody mic.
Sorry.
You've got to, do you know what I mean? Like, or at least turn your mic up. One of the two. Sorry, everyone. Anyway, I mean, I kind of think it is definitely just a more improved Switch, which is fine. It ain't broken. Don't fix it. I'm okay with
Mm.
that. But also, it looks like there's a few mechanical changes with the kind of. We talked about it in the last episode where you thought they were going to introduce some sort of mouse function, and it kind of indicates towards that in the trailer. We will break down the trailer specifically in a moment. So, yes, I would say it probably is a more powerful Switch, but I think there'll be some new functionality to it. It's Nintendo. It's a new console. Like, this is their next gen console. And honestly, if they are going for a more grounded approach with their new generation console, I'm fine with it. It doesn't need to be like we talked about this like, a couple of days ago. It doesn't need to have the gimmicks, the flair that you know what I mean. Like, I think half the reason a console like the Nintendo 64 was successful was because it was just gaming. That was it. Yes, it had the worst controller design in all of history, but it was you know what I mean. Like. It was awesome. Like it was a very grounded experience for gaming at the time. Yeah, I don't know. What do you think? Do you think it's going to be more of like a pro console?
Once I'd heard it, I couldn't shake it. And for me, it feels like Wii to Wii U. Like a little bit of a bump up, a little bit more power, and that sort of thing, versus Wii to Switch, which was just two different like areas of the world. It's a completely different ballgame.
Yeah.
And for me, like the more I hear about it, I'm just like, well, yeah, you've updated the Joy-Cons to be a bit more, they can click into place. Yes, you've added a mouse function. Yes, it's a bit bigger. And it just feels like PlayStation to PlayStation Pro. Whereas this doesn't feel like this is the Switch 2. Like,
yeah, I think
I'm
this
resting
is
on your forehead. You know
I
what I
think
mean?
that's the problem. Is the announcement felt so half-assed?
Yeah.
Like in comparison to,
And the fact that we'd seen it as well.
Yeah.
We'd seen it out in the wild.
Well, I guess, but I mean, guess with like the Switch, I'm thinking back to the Switch announcement where it was kind of it demonstrated how you could use this console and the versatility of this console. I guess with the Switch 2, we already know the kind of versatility of this console. I think there's a few problems that I have with the initial announcement before we get into breaking down the actual trailer. Is one, we've got this trailer, right? And all it did was kind of show what it looked like with some basic sort of understanding of how it works. It's got more flexible stand. It's got it clearly demonstrates the mouse thing. And then we got like a little tech demo with it being with the Mario Kart thing. It was okay, like, but I think then the problem is we've got 3 months to wait until we then find out anything else.
I think that the big C COVID is to blame for that though, with all these like Nintendo Directs and PlayStation Directs. Because I feel like when Switch came out, it was like, here's this brand new thing, we'll show you everything about it in a trailer, And now, because we've had like directs where they'll go, oh, here's a 20-minute segment where we'll go into absolutely everything about this game, all the games you're going to be able to play with it, what it does and does this and this and this. That's why we're now having to wait for it.
Do you reckon then they initially planned for the announcement to be the 2nd of April? And they were going to just reveal it all then, but because of the leaks, they were kind of like, well, we've got to do some damage control here.
Yeah. I could see that.
Because it's rumored to drop on the 11th of July. That's when it's kind of suspected to come out. So it kind of makes sense to about April time. It's like 2-3 months away, which is about the same as what they did for the initial Switch. Although I think that was about 5 months because it dropped on mid-October. And then it came out, like the 7th of March or something like that? No, it was like the 2nd or 3rd of March, I remember.
I think it's a bad choice to drop it in summer.
Yeah, it is. But school holidays.
Yeah.
Kids have got like 5-6 weeks off. Perfect time, right? You gotta capitalize where you can. Either that or it's Christmas, isn't it? And then
I would have thought more Christmas, like, drop it like October, November, and then everybody's ramping up to Christmas to get it.
But I mean, it doesn't matter when they drop it, because they could drop it tomorrow and it will still be the best selling thing at Christmas this year. Well,
I agree.
PlayStation aren't going to drop a new console.
No, I agree. I agree. It's going to be very well sold. It's hard not to sort of like be chomping at the bit to get this thing without it feeling like it's not a massive upgrade.
Yeah.
Until I see the direct and it's like you can play Red Dead Redemption 2 on this thing, you know,
Right.
and I'm like, great, cool. There is a big upgrade, upgrade into it.
Let's shelve the future of this console and what we think the speculator until a bit later in this episode.
Okay.
Let's talk about the initial trailer for what we've seen, right? So it kicks off. It's a demonstration of what's changed about the console, what it looks like. I like the design. It looks sleek. It looks kind of really refined. I like it. I will miss the chaotic vibe of the Switch. I think its selling point was its wild colors scheme for the Joy-Cons, and you could mix and match with these different Joy-Cons. I kind of hope that they bring that vibe back. I don't mind the more sleek design with it being sort of the trims being the color rather than the other way around. I don't mind that at all, to be honest. I think it's a nice modern approach on the console. Not really sure the point in the new stand. I guess when we spoke about it briefly off air yesterday, I guess we could say that it was so you could adjust it to more how you'd like your play style to be if you were playing it like that. But I'll be honest, and I'm going to ask you the same question. Well, I'm going to ask you because I haven't. Have you ever actually played the Switch with it being on its stand and playing it like that? I don't think I ever have.
I played it once and I was going on a train to London.
I think I did it once maybe when it came out I did it once just because I was like, oh, I want to try it. I can do that.
And then you're like,
but I was like, yeah.
Looking at the screen like,
but
am I winning?
It was like there. You know, I mean, if you're on a train, you're like, I'd rather it was. I guess so. It wouldn't be a bad thing if it was like that, would it? Really?
Yeah.
I don't know. I just don't see the point personally.
Yeah, I feel though that your reservations. Oh no, well, you are happy that it is like, you know, sleek grey and like, you know, that you do like the old version of chaotic. I think people are going to resolve that issue anyway because we're going to get people who are making Joy-Cons that can be compatible, that can be multicolored, that can do that sort of thing. And even
no doubt Nintendo will anyway.
Yeah, off the back of that, another thing that I heard on a YouTube channel was that the mouse peripheral that they're announcing, there'll be something that'll make that more ergonomic. Because keeping your hand in a pincer movement for God knows how long.
So, do you know what? I actually grabbed one of my Joy-Cons yesterday and was trying it. And I was like, actually, this isn't too bad. I could probably live with that. I am just curious how it will work with games. Like, I'm just curious, and what game I would possibly ever need that for.
Well, it's going to be like the inventory ones where, or creative games.
I mean, all it makes me think is that Animal Crossing, a new Animal Crossing is going to come out, and because that's a world builder essentially, isn't it?
Yeah.
It will be a lot more sort of specific, focused, and I can actually pinpoint exactly where I want it to go.
Yeah, you're putting wardrobes and stuff. You know what I mean?
That would be nice. I think. Yeah, I'm not opposed to the mouse function. It's new. It's exciting. And then so we did see the Joy-Cons running along the thing with a tail that kind of indicates it's a mouse. Very clever way of doing that, I guess. That's about it in terms of its new functionality that we saw. The overall console looks bigger.
Yeah, 8 inches, which is, you know,
huge. God, that is massive. That 8 inch, bloody hell.
My own personal experience, 8 inches is enough. You know.
Huge, absolutely. That's off screen now, isn't it? You know what I mean?
I do think as well, just touching back on the mouse situation, I do think that it would be good for first-person shooters. So if you can use one thumbstick to move around and the other one as a mouse to look around the screen, that'll give you that. That'll give you that piece.
Yeah, but the one on the left is the looking around button.
I'm sure you could swap them around. It's Nintendo. You know
oh, good lord! I wouldn't be able to do that.
What?
No,
so you
that's training my whole brain to do a whole. Because I use. So if you're holding a mouse, I'm right-handed, so I would be looking around with that.
Yeah.
Oh no, you do move with it. Oh no, sorry, it's sorry. I'm with you.
You know
Yeah,
what I
I'm with you.
was
I
just like,
mean, yeah,
do you play games with your tongue?
yeah. Oh, I was
Yeah. I
confused.
was like, what are you doing? Yeah, that's the hand. The one hand would you move around with?
Yeah,
So
I'm
yeah,
with you. I'm
and then you
back.
get that edge. You get that PC gaming edge where you'd be able to like pinpoint and shoot, and that for me would be a good thing. But again, I don't feel like with a game that's got motion controllers, why you would then need a desk. Like I just feel like it's a backward
But
step.
maybe they're straying away from the motion control. They didn't really demonstrate any motion control.
Then why have you got the controllers attached to the side of the machine? Well, yeah, because make it portable.
So it can be handheld, you muppet.
Yeah, true. Yeah.
That's like, why would you do that then? Because
then,
it's a hybrid console first and foremost.
Okay, then answer me this: if it was handheld, if it was going to be a handheld and you could just dock it, I would have just clicked the controllers to the thing. I'd have made it like a Steam Deck that you can dock, and then had an actual controller that you have at home.
Yeah, but then it wouldn't be a Switch. The point is that you can switch.
But that's what I'm saying. If they're still doing the thing is, I don't think they're doing it just so you can handheld and swap it around. I think it's
Of course it is. That's the reason people like. I turn off most of the motion controls for any of the games, really, because why do I want it? You don't shake your head at me. I know you do exactly the same, so don't give me that crap.
I did for Astrobot. God, that
you do it for all games. You hate motion controls.
I like it when I'm playing like a motion control, like a Mario Party game. You know, like when you're cooking stuff. I think that's great.
Well, yeah, fine. I think the only game I've ever used it on my Switch is for 1-2 Switch when that game came out at launch. And I don't even have 1-2 Switch anymore. I got rid of it.
Don't you like Mario Kart when you jump up and you get your little power up? And,
No, God, no. That is annoying.
Oh,
Are you joking? Why would I want that?
boring. It's cool.
Don't boring me. You turned it off for Astrobot.
Yes,
and then so we saw the trailer. Shows what the console looks like. Looks nice. I like it.
Clean.
Yeah, we didn't see any motion control. I guess they don't feel the need to advertise it, but maybe they're not doing it. I mean, it probably will be there, but I don't think it's the focus. I think they realise that probably isn't their focus, and I think that's why they've maybe scrapped the motion control and gone with the mouse functionality. Maybe that's their new gimmick instead. I think that's a better option, personally. The other thing, and then we move on to the second half of the trailer, where we got a glimpse at a brand new game. There was a lot of speculation whether it is a new game. Nintendo have to be got to be one of the weirdest companies when it comes to announcements. They're like this big. They love an announcement when they do one, but it's always the most ambiguous thing you've ever seen in your life, and it always is. But from the looks of it, we're seeing a new Mario Kart. Fantastic. I'm down. Need that. Lots of talking points on that. Number one being people have been speculating about the design for Donkey Kong. Have you seen this?
I have not, no.
Right. So apparently he looks really funny. I'll put an image on the screen for you. Or I can show you because I've seen it so many times. But people are saying he looks kind of, I don't know, bit funny. He definitely looks different. Here you go. So here's what he originally looks like.
Yeah.
Right? Yeah, you see that?
No,
and this is what he looks like in that trailer.
Interesting.
He definitely looks different, doesn't he?
Yeah.
Hang on, can I do it? There. So there you go, And now he just kind of looks a bit, I don't know.
Was content.
He looks different. He does look different. I'll put it on the screen so people can see it properly because that's not a really feasible way of seeing it. But yeah, looks like some of the designs of the characters have changed. We've seen what looks like a Yoshi sort of roadside cafe restaurant vibe on the track.
24 player.
24 players. That could be 24 player baby park needs to happen, I think. I think that'd be chaotic, to be honest. It's already chaotic with 12. Yeah, not sure really. I don't know. I'd be interested to know what they do with Mario Kart. Because what will that gimmick have?
Yeah, it's got a new twist. I think they said it's got a new twist, but they don't.
300cc.
Yeah.
Could you imagine?
New R mode. You know what I mean? Black and white. You know.
Yeah, I'm trying to think. I don't because they probably won't revisit the zero gravity.
They may do the 2D. May do.
Oh, that could be fun. Oh, a bit like they did in Odyssey.
Mm.
That could be fun.
They could even do like, build your own tracks.
Maybe I have this vision, given the size of that map, I have this vision that it's going to be like do you ever play Burnout Paradise?
No, but I know where you're going with this, like an open world area.
Yeah.
Like the Crew, like it's got like America, for instance.
Yeah.
Yeah. I got that vibe.
I have this vision that that's what they're going to do with it, and I'm not opposed to it.
No,
if they do it well, like that would be cool. Like to drive to different races, and you have to kind of build like a bit of a career out of being a racer.
That'd be a good thing.
That'd be so cool.
I mean, we're making a Mario game right now, which is going to be disappointing if they don't do that. But like, I'll be down for that. Really, I really would like that.
What would you call it? Mario Kart.
Mario
Adventure. Crew. There's been a lot. People don't reckon it'll be MK9.
What, Mario Kart 9?
No, people don't reckon it'll be called that. Because people are Nintendo have said that Mario Kart Tour, the mobile one, is technically a mainline game. I mean, I don't think it is, but Nintendo can shoehorn in that wherever they like. But I don't believe that to be true. But I would say, I reckon it'd be something like Super Mario Kart. But that's what the first one was called.
I would
maybe
go with
Mario Kart X.
I would go with something like Odyssey or like something along them lines. It'd be
Mario Adventure, Super Mario Adventure, if it's going to be the open world vibe.
Yeah.
Or Mario Kart
World.
Adventure. Yeah, Mario Kart World. Oh, yeah, that kind of works. It'll be something like that. Nintendo will. Yeah, they have the same 6 or 5 or 6 words that they kind of recycle for their Mario titles, don't they? Really?
Yeah. Mario Kart Mansion. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Paper
Kart
Mario
Odyssey.
Kart, you know what
I mean? No, I think that's kind of the vibe I was picking up from the trailer. I think just from the sheer, it kind of gave like a Route 66 vibe.
Yeah.
On that track. I'd be down to see an open world Mario Kart racing game. I think there's a real market for that kind of thing.
I think one of my things going, as I do love a good segue, games, the backwards compatibility.
Yes, I think that is important that we discuss that because I think that is a huge selling point because there's nothing I want less than to lose all the games I have.
And why I don't think they're going to get rid of motion controls.
Yeah, that's a good point.
Yeah. I was thinking about it then, and I was like, I've got all these games that got motion controls.
But it'll be like how they did it with the Wii U, I guess.
How did they do it with Wii U?
Well, you didn't need the Wii remote to play a Wii U game, really, did you? You just needed that fancy tablet to play their games. But you could also play Wii games on that, and Wii remotes would support on it. Obviously, that wasn't a big selling console, but I think that's the reason they've avoided calling it something like the Switch U or something. But the Switch, I think the problem they'll have with calling it the Switch 2 is they might fall into the same problem they fell with calling the Wii U that, is that everyone just thought it was a Pro Wii, basically, and that's why no one bought it. That's why it never took off, because everyone was like, oh, it's just another Wii. I've already got one.
Yeah, and I think that, going off the backwards compatibility, I think that when they're going to have the games, when they're going to drop the games, obviously they don't have to print off as many cartridges. If you can put a Switch cartridge in both consoles, then you've got literally, here's a Switch game, play it on one, play it on two, and that's your choices there. And I think that's
but it's not every game.
It's not every game, but I think it's a good financial
I think it will be all of their first party games.
Interesting.
I think a lot of the ports will be the ones that aren't available to play. But I have no doubt in my mind that both Breath of the Wild and Tears of the Kingdom, Super Mario Odyssey, Mario Kart 8, any of the other Zelda games that came out, the remake of Link's Awakening and Echoes of Wisdom, Pokemon, there's a grey area with Pokemon, I think, with backwards compatibility. Because I think Pokemon famously go, well, if you want to play that game, you need to keep hold of your old console, mate, because they love doing that. So I'd say Pokemon's a grey area. I'm hoping Animal Crossing, although I don't actually have a physical cartridge of that.
I said online.
Yeah, so hopefully, but I just hope, because I can't be bothered to start again. And I've put 600 hours into my island on Animal Crossing, that I don't want to start again. But it would be nice if they brought New Horizons over and they've added some new content, because I'd really like that. I think that'd be, yeah, I think it'll be a lot of their ports that won't play. I don't thoughts, feelings.
I'm just happy that they've got the backwards compatibility. I like the fact, because I've got a lot of physical copies of games, so if I can just put a cartridge in one and put it in the other, then I'm happy with that. Yeah, I think that's a good move. I just, yeah, I'm happy for Mario coming out, and you know we speculated what the other games could be.
Metroid
will
be a launch title.
I definitely think so as well. I definitely think that when they showed it at the Switch, I've rewatched the trailer recently, and I was like, the Switch is not playing this, so it's going to have to be.
Well, I mean, it barely runs Tears of the Kingdom, doesn't it?
Yeah.
So
you know, and even that struggles. So, like, for
me,
yeah,
I'll be looking forward to seeing Tears on the new Switch. I'm hoping it gets a bit of a graphical upgrade, like a free upgrade. Oh yeah, upscaling it to 4K.
Well, that's one of the things as well. Like with Nvidia's technology at the moment, they've got DLSS in there, which will, you know, enable it to have a bit more of a graphical prowess.
Yeah.
The problem is Switch Nintendo are known for taking old tech and making it new and inventive. You know, things like motion controls, things like, you know, that
yeah,
outdated.
I think, but that's because they've always gone over for style over substance with their games, isn't it? They haven't never, like, I think the reason games like Breath of the Wild and Tears of the Kingdom look so good is because they're very stylized rather than it being a real graphical masterpiece of a game. And that's what they've always kind of banked on. And I don't want them to lose that, because that's what makes the Nintendo what we love, right? But Astrobot, for example, is a very stylized game that is also a graphical masterpiece. Like, it's the most cleanest looking game you've ever seen. It's the fine line between the two, I think, in that regard.
Yeah, and if we're led to believe that the price point is going to be £400 to pay for it, you know.
How did we get to £400 for a console, man?
I think that now, like, this is like my point on the previous episode is, you know, now more than ever, this needs to be a powerhouse to compete with PlayStation, to compete with Xbox.
I told you it'd be more than the PlayStation, didn't I? I told you.
It's mad. Like, you know, for a handheld console, you know?
Yeah, but it's a hybrid console as well, you know. First and foremost, you can also play it
in a dock again.
I can play it here, or I can play it there. You know what I mean?
Yeah. I just can't shake the feeling after I've heard it today. This feels like a pro. This doesn't feel, until I see the direct, and you know, obviously we can.
They
see
need
what
to
comes out.
that direct needs to be brought forward. I'm not joking.
It needs to be next week, yeah.
Because when I initially saw it, and I thought it was the 4th of February rather than 2nd of April. Bloody Americans with their weird dating. Sorry to any of our American listeners, but you need to sod off.
Yeah.
Not just with that. You can stay to listen, but just for your dating system, that needs to sod off. But even then, I was like, 4th of February, that's still like 2.5 weeks away. And then I was 2nd of April, I was like, that's ridiculous. We'd have moved on. I'll be honest with you, I'll have moved on. It's like the problem with GTA 6. I'm like, yeah, I mean, it'll be amazing when it drops, but for Christ's sake, keep the hype up, man. You want people talking about it. You need to give people more to talk about with the Switch. I need to know. I don't want to be, because people are going to, the problem is, gaming is such a toxic, sort of poisonous industry these days, where people just spit venom about everything. Like 24, like not even an hour after the trailer drop, people are like, oh my God, like, it doesn't have this. It's already the worst console I've ever seen. I'm like, what do you mean? What do you mean it's the worst console you've ever seen? We know nothing about it. It looks good. It physically looks like a nice console. I'm like, that's a bit of me. People are already speculating, Joy-Cons, they're going to break easily on the side of that thing. No, they won't. Nintendo are very good at that. Apart from Stick Drift, but that happens to every console.
I think that the magnets on the side, I'm wary about. I think that it's going to click in and it's going to have its way to click in, but I think that the magnets wear out. You know,
Right.
they're not
So
forever.
someone was saying this on Twitter, and then somebody quote tweeted it by saying, "Do people not realize that Nintendo will play test this over and over? Like they're not going to drop something that it will have the durability of a month. Like it will last."
Well, stick drift and
Yeah, but stick drift happens in every console. PlayStation, I've got it in my Xbox controller. It's half the reason I don't play my Xbox is because I can't be bothered to get a new controller.
My Switch controls keep turning themselves off, and they are annoying.
Okay, but how long have you had your Switch?
So I've had my Switch a while, but the controllers are actually fairly new. They're like probably a year.
Well, I've had mine since launch, and I've not. The worst I've got is stick drift. So, and look, there's some guy on Twitter was like, the Switch is like one of the most worst durable consoles ever, and they were like, why? He was like, I've been through like 6 pairs of Joy-Cons and they always break. I'm like, and everyone's like, maybe you're the problem here.
Yeah.
I don't think if you're going through 6 sets, like three sets of Joy-Cons, and they're always breaking, I think, big man, you need to revisit how you're doing this. Do you know what I mean? I don't know. I don't think Nintendo have terrible hardware. I think, like, especially with their handheld consoles.
Oh no, it's very durable. Like in terms of like screen and stuff, it like boots up and it's great. But I think I don't know. I thought they would have shied away from the Joy-Cons if it was me. But
then how else would you do it?
I've got a Nintendo controller that I have. And I think they should have gone down the console route.
Yeah, but I think I'll always want it to be. I like the fact that it is, that hybrid vibe, and it is just so easy to change from one to the other. And I think with it being rather than slide, it's just pull out, pull apart, pull away from it.
I died, You know
what I mean? Like, yeah, that's the only trouble is. The thing I think the only thing would be the problem is, I don't know, what if for some reason you have a freak movement and you accidentally pull and then it just goes bang.
I actually can remedy that. So I am thinking you can just pull it apart. I think there's a button on either.
I would assume that there's like a lock.
It's like a release thing that releases it. So once it clicks in. But like
you can't just go.
Yeah.
So I could be like, Josh, you're pissing me off. Have some of that.
Yeah,
you know what I mean,
I want to rewatch the trailer. Obviously as we do,
I've watched it like 8 times to try and catch every detail.
I don't get the Joy-Con on the controller at the end splitting.
What do you mean?
So when it does it does all the thing and it shows it, and you got Mario Kart in the back of the screen, and it connects to the.
Oh, when it goes,
thing.
Yeah, I know what you're on about, and then it kind of goes like that, doesn't it?
Like that, and it clicks out, and I'm like, and it just ends with it like hanging out, and I was like, okay. Is that to show that it clicks in place? I was just like...
Maybe it's a tease. You never know. I don't know.
Is it like, Illuminati confirmed kind of thing?
I just want to know every... Illuminati. I just want to know every detail, and I hate it. Like, why would you only show that? Why would you not be showing us everything? Like, we don't know anything.
I feel like I know less now than I did before the launch, before it showed it.
I feel like we might have given this console a lot of credit when we talked about it the other day, because I was like, it's gonna be this, it's gonna be like, it's gonna be the next gen thing, it's gonna be the Tesla of the gaming industry, and it's like, no. I think
it's gonna be all right. It's
not.
I
think that's just how we're feeling now, but it is a next gen console, and I think Nintendo will come out swinging. I just do.
Okay.
I think once we get a bit of a clearer understanding about how this console works, what it can offer, I think we'll be like, hell yeah, give me that. I need that tomorrow.
Do you think we're going to get a Nintendo Direct prior to the Switch 2 Direct in April, and it'll be just solely focused on what's coming out for the Switch? Or do you think we have to wait till April to find out anything about it?
Well, other than the Pokemon Direct, I don't think they've got anything lined up, do they? Nintendo like to announce they don't do surprise drops
Well, there we
like
go.
Sony or Xbox.
Yeah, state of play 3 days from now.
Yeah.
What?
Oh, okay. Nintendo will be like, by the way, this is in 3 weeks. I'm like, whoa, no. I don't know. I kind of hope they bring it forward. I just kind of hope they do, but I don't think they will. I really don't see why they would bring it forward. I just think that's this has always been one of my gripes about when they announce things and then it doesn't come for ages. I'm like, oh God, it's so annoying. Like, why? Unfortunately, the hype will die down in a week. And then it's like,
fair, it's already died down. Like, it needed to be.
I don't know. Not on the side of Twitter that I'm on.
Yeah, for me, it's just like, okay, right, what does it do? What games can I play on it? I do need to know the information. I'm just like, I'm not.
Yeah, I think
I'm not like salivating for it.
Next gen console, the ambiguity thing isn't paying off.
Yeah, and I think they haven't learned from the mistakes of like PlayStation, because like when PlayStation dropped, I was like, oh, I want one of them. That looks kind of cool. You know, it looks kind of quirky. But then you don't know anything about it, like what it does, anything, until they did like a TED talk, like prior to it. It was just like, what's his name?
I do quite like with, like, let's take the Xbox One, for example, way back when, a couple of years ago, when we got the demo about Starfield, and then we got that hour-long presentation, and then they proceeded to give some like further kind of like almost like a Q&A about it, like an FAQ section about it. So you kind of you had enough information to go into it with. I think Nintendo have thrown a strop because people have leaked their information. Rightly so for them to strop about it. Totally understand. I think anyone would be in their position. Anyone would be the same. But they've thrown a strop and they have quite literally gone, here, damn, here's your bloody trailer. This is what you wanted. It could have been a bigger spectacle, but sod off. Do you know what I mean? Like, it just doesn't feel... It feels very out of character. Like, the whole thing felt very out of character. Like, I rung you and was like, Josh, it's been announced. And you were like, is it? Yeah. I was just like, oh, right. It just...
I came downstairs.
It just came out of nowhere.
After it happened, and I watched the trailer, came downstairs, talked to my wife, Molly, and went, oh, Switch 2's been announced. She went, has it? I was like, yeah, do you want to have a look at it? And she watched it, she went, cool. I was like,
yeah.
Exactly the reaction I had when I saw it. I was like, cool, I'll get it eventually.
I probably will get it at launch, I'm not going to lie to you.
Really?
Yeah, I'm a sucker for a Nintendo console, me.
Nah, I will probably buy that in 2026.
I think you'll see the Direct and you'll do what you always do, Josh, and go, I'll play this for the next 10 years. I want it on launch. And then you'll play it for a month and then never touch it again.
I still play my Switch now, but isn't it?
I think the trouble is if they launch with Mario Kart and Metroid, I'm happy, right?
See, I'm not.
Yeah, but you don't like Metroid.
No, I don't like Metroid Dread. Everybody, fantasized about that. I thought it was a great thing.
Yeah, it's an okay game.
I want to play the new Metroid because it looks, it's first person.
It's fantastic.
Yeah, it looks wonderful. I really do want to play it.
It looks like what Halo should have been for the last few years.
Blasphemy. But anyway, we'll move swiftly on from that. I think that it shouldn't just release like 2 games though. I really just don't think it should.
But they didn't do. We got just like the big title that came out for Switch was Breath of the Wild.
Yeah, but I think we're past that. I think it's like here's like 5 or 6
no
games.
other console does. Bloody, what was this? The PlayStation look? Was it Forspoken that came out with? PlayStation 5. Was it Forspoken?
No, Returnal.
God, what an awful game that was.
Yeah, but like, I get it.
I think the Xbox launched with a last gen game.
Yeah, I do get it, but this is like in my ideal world. I don't want Nintendo to just go, here's Metroid, here's a first person shooter.
Yeah, but
and here's Mario
Metroid
Kart.
and Mario Kart
Yeah, but
on
I'd
launch. Are you joking?
but
Mario Kart.
Mario Odyssey 2. That's what I want. I want
Yeah, but
something
you're
that's got
not
some
going to
longevity.
get that straight away. Well,
Yeah.
they'll launch like a major story game, which will be your Metroid, and then they'll launch, and then they always have a fun party game. And if for that first time that fun party game is Mario Kart, are you mad?
Yeah,
Mate, honestly, those two games would keep me going for ages.
Hasn't this been in development for like 8 years? Oh, well, it's 8 years since the Switch came out, isn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So what's been in development for 8 years?
Well, no. So let's.
I assume they're Mario Kart, since we didn't get a new one.
Yeah, I would assume that as well, and I would assume that they've had a prototype for the Switch they could put out to people, and I feel like if they wanted to capitalize on all their audience, they would just put out 2 games. Because you're just not there's kids these days. Speaking as a
do you know what
have the attention span of a flea. They'll play Mario Kart for a week and then go.
But
go
does
back
this
to Fortnite.
console look like it's being marketed towards kids? And it will, right? So because they don't need to market towards kids because it's Nintendo, it will sell for children, right?
Who do you
Children
think
are going
marketed towards?
Right. Hang on, let me land before you interrupt. Yeah.
Right. Okay.
Right. So that console, it doesn't. I think the original Switch, when that came out, was like, bam, color, kids. This is for you, right? This one didn't give me that vibe. This is a tech demo. This is kind of what it's going to look like. It was a nice, sleek, sort of modern design, black, which, isn't Nintendo's usual style. I think black being the sort, like, do you know what I mean? Like the GameCube was purple, the Switch was the Wii was white, and it had that blue trim. Huh?
The Switch was black.
Yes, with a red and a blue Joy-Con. Whereas it just, I don't know, it just felt very like a sleek design. It's not. It felt like yeah, it felt like that's the kind of. It looks like a Steam Deck. It looks like that's who they're trying to compete with. And if they launched with Mario Kart and Metroid, Metroid is it's not a terrifying game, but it's definitely for a more mature audience. I would say it's not a kids game. The thing is Nintendo, so every parent's going to buy that for their kids this Christmas. That's just what's going to happen. That's a given, right? I think we can all assume that's a given. But launching with a game like Metroid that has a huge cult following, and Mario Kart, which is, if you ask anyone what everyone loves playing on Nintendo and any Nintendo console ever, it's a Mario Kart. Those two they could launch those games and it will sell. And it will absolutely sell. And that is actually what they're going to do. It will be Metroid and it will be Mario Kart at launch. And I guarantee you it will sell. Honestly, but it's like they'll be giving it away. And as much as you're like, I want Mario Odyssey 2. We all want Mario Odyssey. I want another Zelda game at launch.
I want another Zelda, yeah.
But we're not going to get that at launch.
They've been working on it for so long.
They haven't worked on any Zelda game. No, they're not working on any Zelda game.
Nintendo should have got their ducks in a row and been like, here's a Zelda game, here's a Mario game, and here's a Metroid
we had
game.
Echoes of Wisdom last year, which I know you're not interested in. But then we also only just had Tears of the Kingdom a year and a half ago.
Yeah,
they're not working on a new Zelda right now. They're just not.
Tears of the Kingdom.
Well, I think we're going to lose that style. Unless they do it as a trilogy. I'd like them to do it as a trilogy, but I just don't know what they could do with it.
You don't think they're going to get a third Tears of the
if they do, I'd like them to do it as a trilogy, but I think...
Yeah.
But I just don't know what you could do with it.
I didn't know what they could do with Breath of the Wild. They found a way.
Yes, I know, but I feel like they pushed the limits of what you can do. Like, they basically went, here's Breath of the Wild. Also, it's a sandbox game now.
Well, it never wasn't a sandbox game. Well, yeah, true now, yeah.
It kind
true.
of is.
So Breath of the Wild is very much a sandbox game. Tears of the Kingdom is very much like make your own game. Like you want to go traverse across this map, go make yourself a car. That kind of stick.
Yeah, I guess so. I don't think they'll launch with Zelda. I really don't. I just do not think they're going to launch this out.
Maybe.
Do you know why? Because I'm
Not really.
still not convinced about the Xbox Game Pass. I'm still not convinced about. I think that could be in their demo. It could be.
Play a day one on Game Pass.
Well, no. Yeah,
Nintendo
well, obviously
Pass.
Nintendo aren't going to be like play Mario Kart day one on Game Pass. They're never going to do that. Nintendo are going to capitalize every penny they can, but also I think they're going to be like, also, part of your Nintendo Switch online subscription is you now get Game Pass.
I don't know if Xbox would want to do that announcement.
Okay,
but I don't know.
maybe
I don't know
not
what
with Nintendo
I don't know what
Switch
would,
Online, but
I don't know what would shine more light on it. Like, would I want to buy a Switch knowing I can play Xbox games on it?
I think it would be a limited library on Switch anyway. I don't think you'd get like Call of Duty on Switch. I just don't.
No, I mean, if you had that graphical powerhouse of a machine that you should have.
But imagine being able to play Fable on a Switch. Oh my lord! Give me that! 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 You know what I mean? South of Midnight. Yeah, I'll take it.
I just need it to be that big, powerful console to do that.
Yeah, I think it will. I really think it will. I think we saw a very early development of that Mario Kart game. I think the announcement has come way earlier than they initially wanted. So I don't think it's launch ready yet. I think we haven't seen the full power of this console. That's kind of where I'm at with it. Any closing thoughts?
24-player Mario Kart with Donkey Kong.
Yeah.
Donkey Kong having really good fur does give me hope that we've got a bit of power in this console, but I'll be waiting and seeing.
24. I mean, Christ, I barely know 12 people to play. Not that you could split. You could sit 24 on a map, but you could still only have 4 players playing it.
Well, no, you can do the thing though, can't you?
Unless you could do it online, can't you? Yeah, that's true. I don't know 24 people to play it with. Well, I do know 24 people, but I don't know. I don't think I have 24 people in mind to play.
Be anarchy. Be anarchy.
I also, one last thing I do want them to do. If they want to implement more online gaming, I think they need a better party system to be able to talk to people, because you don't get that on the Switch. And I like that. Yeah, that's pretty much it. Switch 2. We've finally got the announcement. A little bit underwhelming, but I think there's more to come. That's what I think.